Hey, everybody. This is Solomon, Sapphire Eyes, Chapter 1, Tribal Law, Part 1. Solomon loves playgrounds. He can sit for hours watching children swing and hang and laugh and fight and cuss. There's a dome made of interconnected poles like a metal igloo. Little boys climb to the top and stand shakily, wobbly kings surveying their lands. It's warm today. The sun catches his eyelashes and frosts them with luminescence. The sun rubs his cheeks with fire. He is warm on the inside, like bonfire in his bones. The dirty air smells clean today, the slight odor of sun-baked skin. He is breathing so lightly, you'd think he was a dead man. Back against a chain link fence, coffee brown eyes distant, hair like unruly black forest fire, black as jungle heart, black as the mystery beneath a rock just before a little boy lifts it, looking for lizard or treasure or dream. He closes his eyes, and the story yawns and stretches itself in the lazy sunlight out of his mouth and takes a walk. The story is his treasure, stored up in the battered cardboard box of his body. He has determined to let it come out whenever it wants, extending its wealth to whomever it pleases. Once upon a time, the story yawns, it went down like this. In the great walled city, there was a great king. He had fought the Decade War against the Ancient One, the Midnight Dragon with sapphire eyes. He was not able to kill the dragon, but he was able to build the great walled city to protect his people. The lurking dragon had not penetrated the wall for 30 years. She roared her rage every night. She blew her fire into the skies. Inside the walls, there had been another war, the tribal war, which the king waged to unify the 5 tribes. A bloody war. We do not speak of it. And now there was a great peace. The king had twin sons, Harshan and Meshon. Harshan was the older. He had his father's courage and prowess in war. Meshon was an excellent baker. He could melt your heart with his pastries. When the king was old, he gathered his sons. He named Meshon, the younger, to be king. Meshon moaned, "I am no king!" Harshan was heartbroken. "Father, you have slit my throat and given my blood to the dogs. Why have you done this? You know I am the stronger." He silenced them both. "I am your king," he said. "Meshon, I see what you do not see. There is a seed in your heart that will grow into a great tree. Harshan, son of my heart, you have courage and valor and strength, but you have not seen what is in your brother, because your eye is not well. You will not rule. He has Falshana." He said the word like it was a revelation. They stared blankly, never having heard it. "It is an ancient word," he said, "a forgotten word. A man has strange visitations when he is dying. I once knew this word, but the tribal wars stole it from me. The terrible things I have done." They heard the tears in his words, but there were none in his eyes. He was king. Falshana is treasure of soul. It is when they cannot take your name from you. Falshana is treasure of soul. It is when the king gives his life for the least of his citizens. If you have Falshana, word, nor fist, nor knife can ever steal your name. I was once a young king, but now I am old. Meshon is king. I have spoken. He kissed his scepter. The witnesses chimed, "It is spoken!" And it was settled forever. This was the law. The king died shortly thereafter. All in the 5 tribes mourned him. Over time, Meshon's grief turned into resignation. Harshan's heartbrokenness became smoldering rage. Meshon threw a great banquet for all the people, from richest to poorest, as his first act as king. Such things had never been done. The rich were angry. It was shameful for a king to be in the kitchen, but the poor loved him. He ruled with gentleness. The rich called him the soft-headed king. One day, Meshon summoned his brother, who was general of war. "I am going to make peace with the dragon," said Meshon, without looking into his eyes. He had grown tired of the weight of his contempt, and he knew what was coming. Harshan's voice was flat. "You know I do not enjoy jesting, brother. If you wish to play, summon the village children. I have work to do." Meshon continued with great effort. He knew how this would sound. "I have read an ancient book with a recipe for dragon cake made from the firmange root. It is said that the dragon folk accept such invitations to peace." When it dawned on Harshan that Meshon was serious, it is difficult to describe his reaction. He already had unspeakable contempt for his brother. But now there was more. Harshan was rocked to the core with shame. His breath left him for a moment. The only thread holding his wrist from drawing his sword and killing his brother where he stood was the respect he had for his father's name and his ever-present longing to be king. "You want to bake a cake for the dragon that murdered thousands of us?" Meshon could feel the blade of Harshan's words brush against his throat. He well knew his brother's rage and the fragility of his own life. "I would explain it if I thought you could hear me, but we cannot survive here long term, and you know this. What's the harm in trying something?" Meshon asked. "The harm is that you are a fool, and everyone will see it. You will not do this thing that you have said. I will not let you give our family name to piss." "I have spoken," said Meshon, quickly kissing his scepter, as if Harshan would have tried to stop him, and perhaps he would have. The witnesses shouted in unison, "It is spoken!" And it was sealed. Harshan quenched his rage with a thought. Meshon had gone too far. All of the powerful in the city would agree and support Harshan once they heard of this madness. For the sake of the kingdom, for the welfare of the people, it was time for Harshan to take over the throne. He turned and left without a word, mind whirling. Meshon began to summon all the great bakers in the land, for this was to be a very large and complex cake, one that only a master-level baker could accomplish. The bakers were common folk and poor. There was a saying in the walled city, "Those too dim to be trash slingers become bakers." Solomen opens his eyes. What he sees astonishes him every time. There are 7 boys standing around him, a rugged tribe, totally silent, some knotty-haired, some with fades, dreads, eyes and ears padlocked on him.